Life doesn't wait for us to feel ready. It doesn't pause while we make excuses. It doesn't care about the reasons we give for why we can't take that next step, no matter how valid they seem. The truth is, no matter where you are right now, no matter what obstacles you're facing, you are capable of so much more than you think. We all have dreams, we all have desires and things we want to achieve, but what separates those who make it happen from those who don't is one simple thing: the decision to take action. And that decision, more often than not, is made at the moment when you're most tempted to let fear, doubt, or distraction pull you back. But here's what I want you to understand right now: you have everything you need to start today. It's easy to get caught in the trap of waiting for the perfect moment, when the stars align, when the timing feels right, when you're feeling at your best. But that moment rarely comes, does it? Because life is messy, it's full of challenges, setbacks, and distractions, but in the middle of all that, there's an incredible power within you waiting to be unleashed. You don't need to have everything figured out right now. You don't need to feel completely prepared. All you need is the courage to take that first step, even if it's imperfect, even if it feels like you're not entirely sure how it will all work out. You are capable of figuring things out along the way. Trust in yourself, because there is a fire inside of you that can drive you forward even when it feels like everything else is pulling you backward. Excuses, we all make them, don't we? I'll start tomorrow, or I'm too tired, or it's not the right time kind of thoughts. But here's a hard truth: excuses keep you stuck. They may feel comforting in the moment, but they're nothing more than barriers you've built in your own mind to protect yourself from the discomfort of growth. Ask yourself, what is the cost of staying where you are right now? Because you don't have to stay in the place you're in. You don't have to stay stuck in the same patterns, the same routine, the same excuses. Every time you put off taking action, you're delaying your future. You're delaying your growth, your progress, and your success. Every moment you spend thinking about why you can't, someone else is thinking about why they can. And the difference between them and you is simply that they made the choice to stop making excuses and start making moves. Here's something else to understand. Challenge is a part of the journey. They're not roadblocks, they're stepping stones. The difficulties you face, the moments you feel like giving up, are not signs to stop. They are signs to dig deeper, to find strength within yourself you never knew existed. Resilience doesn't come from avoiding hardship. It comes from facing it head on, learning from it, and moving forward regardless. So when life gets hard, and it will, don't run from it. Stand tall, face it, and remind yourself that this is part of what makes you stronger. You don't need to do everything at once. It's not about making huge overnight changes. It's about showing up consistently every day, even when it feels hard. The key to success isn't making one big leap. It's taking small steps every day that add up over time. Whether it's 10 minutes of work or 1% progress, that's progress. You don't need to have everything figured out today. You just need to do something today. Tomorrow, do a little more. And the next day, keep going. Over time, these small actions will build momentum, and what once seemed impossible will become inevitable. You are not someone who waits for permission. You are not someone who waits for the perfect circumstances. You are someone who knows that the power to create the life you want is already within you. It's time to stop doubting yourself. You don't need approval from anyone else. You don't need to wait for things to be perfect. You just need to believe in your ability to make things happen. Trust yourself. You've faced challenges before, and you come out stronger every single time. You have everything you need to succeed. The world doesn't need another person sitting on the sidelines. It needs you showing up, taking action, and making things happen. So no more excuses, no more waiting for the perfect moment, no more telling yourself you're not ready or it's too hard. You are ready. You have everything you need. The time is now. It's not about being perfect, it's about moving forward. Every step you take, no matter how small, is a step closer to the life you've always wanted. No one else is coming to do this for you. You are the one who will make it happen. So step up, own your power, and remember there are no excuses. Get it done. Now go out there and take action. Your future is waiting. You are capable of more than you think. When life throws challenges your way, it's easy to feel like you're not equipped to handle them. You start to doubt your abilities, your strength, and whether you have what it takes to push through. It's normal to feel overwhelmed, but here's the truth. You've always had the capacity to rise above whatever is in front of you. The fact is you don't even know the full extent of your potential yet. Often we put limits on ourselves. We tell ourselves, I can't do this, or I'm not good enough, or even this is too much for me. These thoughts stem from fear, insecurity, and past experiences, but they don't define who you are. What you think you can or can't do doesn't even come close to the true measure of your potential. If you take a moment to reflect on your past, you realize there were times when you faced situations that seemed impossible, yet you got through them. You overcame things you once thought you couldn't handle. The problem is that we often let fear dictate our actions, or in many cases inaction. When we face something new or challenging, we hesitate, wondering if we're truly capable of pulling it off. But here's the reality. You have no idea how much strength lies within you until you push through that discomfort and give it a try. And when you do, you'll find that you're capable of more than you ever imagined. Think about the moments in life where you've had to stretch yourself. The first time you did something you thought was beyond you, whether it was learning a new skill, navigating a tough situation, or stepping into the unknown, you might have felt like it was impossible. And yet you found a way. Why? Because deep down you possess an inner resilience and strength that you may not even recognize in yourself yet. You are wired for growth. And with every challenge, you become stronger and more capable. Now imagine what could happen if you stopped holding yourself back. Imagine if you gave yourself permission to believe in your ability to handle whatever comes your way. You'd stop waiting for the perfect moment, and instead you'd start acting in spite of fear or doubt. The potential you're capable of unlocking is limitless. You have no idea how far you can go until you begin to believe that you can actually get there. There's a tendency to compare ourselves to others, to think that someone else is more qualified or better suited for success. But that's a trap. Your journey is your own. The things that may seem like mountains to climb are actually the very things that will help you discover how powerful you are. And once you step up to face them, you'll realize that what seemed impossible is not only doable, but you can excel at it. So when you find yourself questioning whether you're capable of something, remind yourself of all the times you've surprised yourself in the past, those moments of proof that you have it within you. You just have to start believing in yourself enough to step forward, even when doubt tries to hold you back. You are capable of more than you think. Go and show yourself what you can do. Start now, even if it's not perfect. We often wait for the right time to begin something. We think we need everything to be aligned perfectly before we take that first step. We convince ourselves that we'll start when we have more time, more energy, or more knowledge. But the reality is that there's never a perfect moment, and if we keep waiting for it, we'll never move forward. The most important thing is not to wait until everything is perfect. It's to start now with what you have where you are. Perfectionism can be paralyzing. It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that if you can't do something flawlessly, you shouldn't do it at all. But here's the truth. Perfection is an illusion. It doesn't exist in the way we think it does. Every success story, every breakthrough is built on the willingness to try, to make mistakes, to learn along the way, and to keep pushing forward even when things don't go according to plan. No one starts out perfect, and the sooner you realize that, the sooner you can free yourself from the fear of failure. The truth is, it's better to start imperfectly than to never start at all. Think about the things you've accomplished in your life. Were they all perfect from the start? Of course not. You didn't wait for everything to fall into place before taking that first step. You just did it. And in doing so, you opened the door for growth, learning, and progress. Starting imperfectly means you're giving yourself the opportunity to figure things out as you go. And in the process, you'll refine your approach, get better, and discover things you never would have if you stayed on the sidelines waiting for the ideal conditions to show up. The first step is always the hardest because it involves overcoming the fear of the unknown and the discomfort of stepping out of your comfort zone. But once you take that first step, you begin to build momentum. The fear that once felt so paralyzing becomes a little less intimidating, and the uncertainty becomes a part of the process, not a reason to stop. The more you take action, the more confidence you build in yourself and your ability to handle challenges. Starting is the key to building that confidence. It's the foundation on which everything else is built. Progress is rarely linear. There will be setbacks, there will be mistakes, there will be times when things don't go as planned. But each mistake is an opportunity to learn, to adjust, and to keep moving forward. Waiting for the perfect moment only leaves you stagnant. You'll never know how much you're capable of until you take action, even if it's not perfect. It's through doing, learning, and adapting that you'll reach your goals. So stop waiting for the perfect time. It's not coming. The perfect time is now. You have everything you need to start today. Even if things aren't perfect, even if you're unsure, the most important thing is to begin. Take that first step, however imperfect it may be, and trust that the rest will unfold as you move forward. Excuses keep you stuck. Choose action instead. We've all been there standing on the edge of something we want to do, yet hesitant to take the leap. It's easy to come up with reasons why now is not the right time, why we're not ready, why we don't have enough resources, or why we need just a little more time to figure things out. These reasons can feel valid in the moment, and sometimes they even seem like the logical choice. But the reality is that every excuse we make is another roadblock preventing us from moving forward. Every time we put things off, we delay the opportunity to grow, learn, and ultimately reach our full potential. Excuses can take many forms. They might sound like, I'm too busy, or I'm not good enough, or I'll do it tomorrow. They make us feel better in the short term, as though we're giving ourselves permission to rest or avoid discomfort. But in the long run, these excuses don't serve us. They keep us in the same place, preventing us from making progress and achieving the things we desire. The truth is that excuses are nothing more than a way of staying in our comfort zone where it feels safe and familiar. But if we want to grow, we need to step out of that comfort zone and into the unknown. The danger of excuses is that they create a cycle. The more we make them, the more we believe them. And the more we believe them, the harder it becomes to break free. What starts as a small hesitation can quickly snowball into a pattern of inaction, leading us to feel stuck, frustrated, and helpless. But here's the secret: we have the power to break that cycle. It all starts with one simple decision to take action, even when we feel like making an excuse. The most successful people don't wait for the perfect conditions to take action. They don't let excuses dictate their behavior. Instead, they take small steps forward, regardless of how imperfect or uncomfortable the situation may be. They understand that growth doesn't happen by staying still. It happens through action, even when it feels messy or uncertain. Every step forward, no matter how small, you have everything you need to move forward right now. The resources, the skills, the drive, they're all within you. The only thing standing between where you are and where you want to be is your decision to stop making excuses and start taking action. Yes, it's hard. Yes, it feels uncomfortable. But remember, it's through discomfort that we learn, grow, and evolve into the person we're meant to be. Every time you push through that urge to make an excuse and take one small step forward, you break free from the chains that hold you back. It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that you need everything to be perfect or that you need more time to prepare. But waiting for the perfect moment is just another excuse to avoid doing the work. The reality is, there will never be a perfect moment. There will always be challenges, distractions, and things that get in the way. What matters is your ability to push through those obstacles and take action despite them. The only way to get unstuck is to stop making excuses and start taking action, no matter how imperfect or messy that action may seem. The first step is always the hardest, but once you take it, the path becomes clearer. Every step forward builds momentum, and soon you'll find yourself moving towards your goals with a sense of purpose and direction. The key is not to wait for the perfect time or the perfect conditions, is to take action no matter what. Challenges are stepping stones, not roadblocks. Life is full of challenges, some big, some small, but each one can feel like an obstacle standing between you and where you want to be. In the face of these challenges, it's easy to view them as roadblocks, things that hold you back, things that make your journey more difficult. It's tempting to think that life should be easy or that success should come without struggle. But if you look closely, you'll see that challenges are not barriers to your success. They are the very things that help you grow. They are stepping stones placed along your path to build strength, resilience, and wisdom. Every challenge you face is an opportunity to learn something new about yourself. It's an opportunity to discover how much you're truly capable of, how creative you can be in solving problems, and how resilient you are in the face of adversity. It's through these challenges that you develop the qualities that will serve you in the future, the ability to persevere, to adapt, and to overcome. Without challenges, there would be no growth. Without difficulty, there would be no breakthrough. The discomfort you feel in facing a challenge is the very thing that prepares you for the success that lies ahead. When you're in the middle of a tough situation, it's easy to get discouraged. It's easy to feel like you're being pushed back or that you'll never make it to the other side. But challenges don't have the power to hold you back unless you let them. You have the power to decide how you respond. Instead of seeing a challenge as something that will stop you, view it as a test stone that will reveal your strength and resourcefulness. The key is not to avoid challenges, but to face them head on, knowing that each one brings you closer to becoming the person you need to be in order to achieve your goals. Think about the most successful people, people who have achieved incredible things. They didn't get there because they had an easy path. They faced countless challenges along the way. But what made them successful wasn't that they avoided those challenges, it was their ability to navigate through them, learn from them, and keep moving forward. Every setback was a lesson. Every failure was a step closer to success. And that's the mindset you need to adopt when facing your own challenges. See them as opportunities, not obstacles. It's important to remember that no challenge is permanent. It may feel overwhelming in the moment, but it's temporary. Once you move through it, you will be stronger for having faced it. Each time you conquer a challenge, you expand your comfort zone, and what once seemed difficult becomes easier the next time. In fact, the more challenges you face, the more you'll begin to recognize them for what they truly are, stepping stones. With each one you grow, you evolve, and you get closer to the person you are meant to be. Rather than avoiding the discomfort of challenges, embrace it. Know that it's part of the process and that every challenge is an opportunity to become better, stronger, and more capable. When you see challenges as stepping stones, you shift your mindset from one of fear and avoidance to one of empowerment and growth. So when life presents you with a challenge, don't shy away from it. Step forward, knowing that this is the very thing that will help you reach your goal. Small, consistent steps lead to big results. When we look at the people who've achieved great things, it's easy to believe that success is a result of one massive breakthrough or a single monumental action. We think that to accomplish anything truly significant, we need to make huge, dramatic moves. But the reality is that success doesn't come from one big leap. It comes from the small, consistent steps we take every day, even when those steps feel insignificant in the moment. It's easy to become discouraged when we don't see immediate results from our efforts. We set big goals, and when we don't achieve them right away, it's tempting to think that we're failing. But here's the truth, the road to success is built on the small actions we take consistently. Every time you show up, even when it feels like nothing is happening, you're making progress. These small steps are the building blocks that over time add up to something much larger than you could have imagined. Think about something simple, learning a new skill. If you practice for just 15 minutes every day, those minutes quickly add up. In a week, that's over an hour of practice. In a month, that's over 4 hours. And in a year, that's over 180 hours more time than most people spend trying to master a new skill. The key is not in the intensity of the practice, but in the consistency. It's showing up day after day, putting in the work, and trusting that the small efforts will eventually lead to something greater. This principle applies to every area of life, whether you're building a career, improving your health, or working on personal growth. The consistent effort you put in each day compounds over time. You might not see the results immediately, but they're happening in the background, and one day you'll look back and realize how far you've come. What seemed like small, insignificant actions at the time will have turned into something powerful and transformative. There's a tendency to compare our progress to others, especially in today's world of social media, where we're constantly exposed to highlight reels of other people's success. We see someone's big achievement and think, why am I not there yet? But the truth is, every person's journey is different. The small daily steps they took to get where they are might be invisible to you, but they were crucial. The process isn't always glamorous, and sometimes it feels like you're not getting anywhere. But when you stay consistent, you start to realize that the efforts you're putting in are creating momentum, and that momentum is what will carry you forward. When you commit to small, consistent actions, you build trust in yourself. You prove to yourself that you're capable of following through. It's easy to start things, but it's the ability to keep going even when the results aren't immediate that truly matters. Progress isn't always visible, but that doesn't mean it's not happening. It's the quiet, consistent steps that ultimately create lasting change. So instead of focusing on the end goal and feeling overwhelmed by the distance between where you are and where you want to be, focus on the small steps. Break down your big goal into manageable tasks and take it one step at a time. Each action you take, no matter how small it seems, brings you closer to your destination. Consistency is what will ultimately get you there. Trust in your ability to figure things out. There will always be moments in life where uncertainty takes center stage. You might find yourself standing at a crossroads, unsure of which direction to take or overwhelmed by the challenges ahead. In these moments, it's easy to doubt yourself, to question whether you're truly capable of handling what lies ahead. But the truth is, you've already faced uncertainty before, and you made it through. The very fact that you are here today means that you've already figured out so many things along the way. So why should this moment be any different? Trust in your ability to figure things out. We often let fear of the unknown hold us back. We think we need to have everything figured out before we move forward, that we need a step-by-step plan in place before we take the first step. But the reality is that no one has everything figured out from the start. Success doesn't come from knowing all the answers. It comes from the willingness to take action even when you don't have it all figured out. The process of figuring things out is just that, a process. It's not always smooth, and it doesn't always happen in a straight line. But when you trust in yourself and your ability to adapt, you'll find that the answers come as you move forward, not before. Think about the times in your life when you've had to step into the unknown. Maybe it was starting a new job, moving to a new place, or pursuing a new goal. In those moments, you didn't have all the answers. You didn't know exactly how everything would unfold, and yet you kept going. You figured it out along the way. You learned, adapted, and found solutions that you couldn't have anticipated when you first started. That's the beauty of life. You don't have to have everything figured out from the beginning. You just need to trust that you'll figure it out as you go. Every challenge you face is an opportunity to discover something new about yourself and your abilities. You're more resourceful than you realize. When you're faced with something difficult, your mind will start to search for solutions. It's like a muscle. You can't strengthen it if you don't push it to its limits. And when you trust in your ability to solve problems and figure things out, you open yourself up to greater creativity and resilience. You begin to see solutions where others might see any obstacles. The key is to stop worrying about what you don't know and start focusing on what you can learn. Trusting yourself doesn't mean you won't make mistakes. It means you know that even when things don't go as planned, you have the capacity to adjust, learn, and keep moving forward. Mistakes are not failures. They are stepping stones on the path to success. Each mistake you make teaches you something valuable, and with each lesson, you become better equipped to handle what comes next. There's an incredible power in taking that first step, even when you don't have all the answers. That's when the magic happens, the moment you decide to trust in yourself and your ability to figure things out. It's not about being perfect. It's about showing up, learning as you go, and trusting that you will find the way. Resilience comes from facing hardship head-on. Life doesn't always go according to plan. In fact, it rarely does. No matter how much you prepare, how carefully you set goals, or how strong your intentions are, challenges will inevitably arise. Sometimes these challenges can feel overwhelming. They can shake you to your core and make you question whether you have the strength to keep going. But here's the truth. Resilience isn't something you're born with. It's something you build by facing hardship, not avoiding it. Resilience comes from stepping into the storm, not running from it. When you're in the midst of a tough situation, it can feel like you're stuck in a never-ending struggle. You might wonder how you're going to make it through, or if you'll ever feel normal again. These are completely natural feelings. But what separates those who rise above hardship from those who stay stuck is how they respond to it. Resilience isn't about avoiding pain, it's about choosing to keep moving forward even when it feels like everything is falling apart. It's about understanding that hardship is a part of life and that you have the power to get through it. Think about some of the most difficult moments in your life. At the time, they probably felt like insurmountable obstacles, things that you didn't think you could possibly overcome, but you did. You may not have known how you would make it through, but you found a way. It wasn't easy, but the fact that you made it through those times proves that you have the strength to face whatever comes next. You didn't build resilience by avoiding difficulty. You built it by facing it head on, by confronting your fears and pushing through the pain. Resilience is a muscle. The more you exercise it, the stronger it gets. When you face a challenge, it may feel like you're being stretched beyond your limits. But every time you stretch, you grow. And each time you grow, you become more capable of handling even bigger challenges in the future. It's through this process of continual growth that resilience is forged. You might not realize it in the moment, but the struggles you face today are preparing you for what's ahead. They are giving you the tools, the mindset, and the strength to take on bigger obstacles and to continue moving forward no matter what life throws at you. Building resilience doesn't mean you won't have moments of doubt or pain. It doesn't mean you won't struggle. In fact, the path to resilience is often filled with moments of weakness, frustration, and even failure. But each of these moments contributes to your growth. They teach you something valuable, whether it's the power of patience, the importance of perseverance, or the need for self-compassion. Every setback you face builds resilience by teaching you that you can get back up, even when it feels impossible. The key to resilience is not in avoiding hardship, but in facing it with courage and determination. When life knocks you down, get back up. When things don't go as planned, keep moving forward. Resilience isn't about being unaffected by hardship, it's about choosing to stand strong in the face of it. It's about knowing that no matter how tough things get, you have the ability to rise again and keep going. And the more you do this, the more you build your resilience, until eventually no challenge will seem too great to overcome. You are your greatest resource. So often we look outside of ourselves for the answers. We search for external validation, external support, or external resources to help us reach our goal. We look to others for inspiration, guidance, or motivation, believing that they have something we lack. But the truth is, everything you need to succeed is already within you. The strength, the knowledge, the creativity, and the drive to achieve your goals are all part of you. You are your greatest resource. And once you recognize that, you'll unlock a power within yourself that you may not even realize you possess. It's easy to feel like we're not enough, like we need more in order to succeed. We tell ourselves we need more time, more money, more experience, or more connections. While those things can be helpful, they are not the key to success. The key is in your mindset and your ability to tap into the resources already available within you. The answers you seek are often buried deep inside, waiting for you to trust yourself enough to bring them to the surface. You have the capacity to create the life you desire, and it starts with trusting in your own abilities. Every challenge you face is an opportunity to tap into your inner strength. When you feel uncertain or unsure of how to move forward, remember that you have the power to find a solution. You may not have all the answers immediately, but your resourcefulness, your resilience, and your determination will guide you through. The more you rely on yourself, the more you realize just how capable you truly are. Even when things feel difficult, you can navigate through the uncertainty because you have the ability to adapt, to learn, and to grow. Often it's our own self-doubt that holds us back. We question whether we're good enough, whether we have what it takes, or whether we deserve success. But these doubts are just stories we tell ourselves. They are not the truth. The truth is that you are more than capable. You have already overcome challenges in your life, and you've learned valuable lessons along the way. Each experience, whether positive or negative, has equipped you with tools that you can use to move forward. You are a sum of all your experiences, and they have shaped you into a person with the knowledge and skills to handle whatever comes your way. It's easy to look at others and think they have something we don't. But remember that they too had to rely on their own resources to get where they are. They had to trust themselves, take risks, and step into the unknown. What they have is not something you lack, it's something they develop by trusting in themselves. And you have that same ability within you. It's not about being perfect or having everything figured out. It's about knowing that no matter the circumstances, you have the tools within you to make it through. When you begin to see yourself as your greatest resource, you stop waiting for external validation or solutions. You start taking ownership of your journey, knowing that you are capable of navigating the ups and downs of life. You become your own support system, your own motivator, and your own problem solver. The more you believe in yourself, the more you will be able to achieve. You are your greatest resource. And once you tap into that power, there is nothing you cannot accomplish.